So first recipe we're going to do is a wild rice and charred carrot soup. So wild rice, a great gluten-free option. Beautiful starch to use in recipes on its own, like a pilaf, or like we're going to do in a soup. So it usually takes about 40 minutes to cook with a lid on and simmering. So bring the water to a boil, add your rice, lid on top, turn the heat down to low, and just let it simmer for about 35-40 minutes just until it's tender. Pretty easy. You can mix it. What I did was actually mix it in with a whole grain brown rice as well. So you can bulk it up and change the textures a little bit, which is really nice. So do that, put it aside, and then for the soup, what we're going to do is, and again, you can do this with any vegetables. We chose carrots. Carrots are the underappreciated vegetable. It's such a delicious, such a nutritious vegetable for you, and has such a beautiful color. So we're going to do a little spin on it. And what I've done here is, and you can do this outside. The barbecue is fantastic. I've got a cast iron grill, and I've grilled the carrots to get some nice grill marks on them, to get some caramelization. This is gonna improve the flavor a little bit. It's gonna concentrate the flavor. So this is a step you don't have to do. It changes the flavor profile and makes it a really nice, almost smoky carrot soup instead of just like a regular carrot soup. So this is all you really want to do. Just grill it just until you get some nice grill marks, or just until it's soft enough, and then you throw it into about 1.5 liters of vegetable stock and blend it. What I'm going to do is put it in an actual blender. If you do have a hand blender, it's a lot safer to use, and you go right to the pot. But if you just have a regular blender, just be careful, try not to spill anything. So carrots are going to go in. And like I said, you can do this with butternut squash, you can do this with sweet potatoes. Any root vegetable would be fantastic in this recipe. Now we're going to add some garlic as well, that I also had on the grill. And you keep the skins on and you grill them, and it gets really nice and soft. See, like a beautiful kind of amber color with the garlic. And it's delicious. I mean, this is fantastic as is. Really sweet. You take a lot of that kind of heat out of garlic.
And I noticed your suggestions for the different vegetables you could use were all orange, which is great because Canada's Food Guide and Health Canada recommend trying to choose one orange vegetable or fruit every single day. And the reason being, you're getting a special selection of vitamins. So in this case, beta-carotene. Your body turns into vitamin A, which you need for healthy eyes. So it basically prevents macular degeneration, which is your eyesight worsening over time as you get older.
And then I'm gonna, play along with that smoky flavor, and we're gonna add some dried chilies. Now, if you don't like spice, you don't like heat, what I would suggest is pick a few chilies that have a milder flavor, but you play on that smokiness. So you're not losing flavor, you're losing a little bit of the heat, but you're gaining a lot of flavor. So a couple, I listed one there, the ancho chili pepper. It's a milder flavor or milder heat, but it has a lot of smokiness. The guajillo is another one. So this one here. And you can find these at most grocery stores now. St. Lawrence Market, and there's a couple stores there that just specialize in Latin cuisine and have an amazing selection of dried chilies. But they add a lot of flavor, a lot of depth to dishes. So very simple. You take your dried chili, you take the top off, and I'm gonna make a mess all over the counter, but you just take all the seeds out. Pretty simple. And then what you want to do is cover it in some simmering hot water. From your tea kettle will do, just like this. And you reconstitute the pepper. So it goes from this kind of dry, leathery, to a very, very soft, and you can see almost like the inside of that pepper kind of squeeze out there. So it's perfect. So we're going to add that as is right to the blender. A little bit of yogurt for some creaminess, and yogurt goes very well with carrots as well.
And it'll help neutralize some of the heat if you're using a hot pepper as well.
Mm-hmm. We have some ginger, some fresh ginger. which you can just grate a little bit right into there. Again, we're using some big flavors here, you know, a nice smoky chili, some ginger. So if you like it a little milder, then you can tone that down a little bit. But again, ginger and carrot, whoa, the whole thing's gonna go in there, that's all right. Sometimes that happens.
Powerful soup.
And we're gonna add a little bit of acid, so I'm gonna add a lime juice here. You can do lemon juice, you can do a little bit of white wine vinegar, just like a touch of rice wine vinegar would actually be nice in this.
And if you have mouth sores or a sensitive mouth and can't handle the acidity, you can always go for the zest. So using that same tool that Jeremy just grated the ginger with, just zest off the outside and you get that beautiful flavor without the acidity.
Great point. That's it. The stock goes on top. And like I said, if you have a hand blender, it's easier to transfer this to the pot.
Make sure you let the steam escape with this one. So
Yes, if it is hot, have your towel handy. And start it off with a pulse. So if your blender has the pulse mode, give it a few pulses just to get it going. This could end up all over me. And that's it, just puree it just until it's nice and smooth. And that's it. And this point is when you would check for seasoning. You know, add your salt, add your pepper, taste it, always taste it. And you have this, obviously this beautiful orange color, but you have a little bit of that char from the carrots as well, a little bit of the guajillo pepper in there.
nothing says fall like that rich orange color.
Now you can blend this a little bit more just to make it really nice and creamy. If you wanted to strain it and just make it a little less thick, you can do that as well. But I mean, you have this beautiful color, and that's when you would add your wild rice. And this is a perfect starter. I'm probably going to do this for Thanksgiving this year, but this is a perfect starter. And you can put a little bit of cilantro. Not everybody likes cilantro.
It's usually 50-50 with the cilantro. Apparently it's genetic whether or not you like the taste of cilantro.
But that's it. Maybe a little bit of olive oil at the end. And very easy, fresh soup with some nice wild rice. So beautiful gluten-free alternative to, let's say, if you had a pasta like a minestrone or like a grain, which is good. But I mean, obviously, like a fido grain or a spelt grain, if you did have a gluten intolerance, you would not be able to eat. So that's it.
Great.
First recipe.
And
yes.
wild rice.